Yo, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Viz, and welcome today to the latest episode in our Squad Builder series. Now, today we have for you guys a pretty cool squad. In the top left corner, you can probably see that it's called BBVA, but that's just my mistake. The last squad builder that I did was an all BBVA squad with the likes of third inform Isco and Messi in there. And today's squad actually has some more BBVA players because there were particularly one player that I really wanted to try out before the end of FIFA 13 Ultimate Team. And just like one player that I wanted to say that I did try out in FIFA 13. And so half of the team is BBVA and then the other half is Bundesliga. Now I know I actually did a BBVA and Bundesliga hybrid a while ago, but this has, I do believe, entirely different players. I don't know if there are any repeats. If there are, it might be just one, now that I think about it. But anyway, without further ado, let's hop right into this thing. So in goal, we have Rene Adler of Hamburger SV. Now this guy, he actually got an upgrade earlier in the season, and I think that was, or not in the season, in the year. I think it was during the winter revisions of player cards, I think. But anyway, he has 87 diving, 86 reflexes, 81 handling, 83 positioning, all really solid stats for an 84 rated goalkeeper. Now, he was pretty good for me. Made some really nice saves, but then there were also a couple saves that he didn't make that had me scratching my head a little bit. Although I think at this point I've realized I think that you're going to have those basically with any keeper that you play with in FIFA. Other than Hugo Lloris, I still maintain that he is the best goalkeeper that I've played with on this game. So moving on to our center backs, we have Pepe and Mats Hummels on the right side. So as you can kind of see probably already that the right side we are going to have the Bundesliga on, and on the left side we are going to be having the Liga BBVA. So another couple pretty good center backs. Actually, I used Pepe in my last squad builder that I had. I had Hector Moreno, Pepe, and Sergio Ramos, which were a pretty solid combo of center backs, and these two were actually a pretty good duo as well. The only thing that I really can complain about with these guys is that Hummels at 65 pace is just a little bit lacking in that department. With a little more pace, this dude would be so good. 85 and 84 defending respectively, and then 84 and 82 heading on these two players. It's pretty good. I think they actually both scored me a couple goals. Yeah, 2 goals in 7 games, and then Hummels had me also a couple of goals in 7 games, which is pretty good. So moving on to our right and left backs. On the right side, we have Lucas Piszczek. And then on the left side, we have Marcelo of Real Madrid. And again, these two players, defensively, they were pretty solid. They obviously both have plenty of pace for their respective positions. And they actually both have 80 defending, which is pretty good. And Piszczek has 74 heading, and Marcelo has 70 heading as well, that's pretty solid for left and right backs, just considering the fact that they're usually two smaller players. But the only thing was that both of them have high attacking work rates, and what that meant was sometimes they would get pushed pretty far upfield, and there were a couple times where they left my defense pretty exposed, and Hummels, not being the fastest of defenders, would sometimes get burned by some quicker wingers like Bale and players like that. But overall, pretty good players, a pretty cheap defense actually. I think in total these guys are probably under 30k, and like all of these players you can get pretty easily now. So overall, pretty good defense. Not the best defense I've played with, but not the poorest defense by any means that I've played with. Now moving on to our 3 center midfielders, we have third inform Isco again, and we have Luis Gustavo holding it down in the middle for us, and Bastian Schweinsteiger on the at the right center mid position. Now, I kept third inform Isco in the squad just because I absolutely loved him. I had him in my last squad builder. I had to play with him again. Now, he wasn't quite as effective for me at the center mid position, which I expected that to happen. I see him as much more of an attacking player than a player who kind of sits around the midfield. You can see he still had me 10 goals in 15 games, which is really good. After it was in the last squad builder, I actually had 8 goals in 7 games with him. So then I had 8 games, and then how many is that? 7 goals. 8 games, 7 goals. No, that's not. I don't know. Whatever. He scored me a bunch of goals. He actually scored me one really nice free kick, which I completely forgot to go back and record, which I feel so stupid about because it was actually a really, really nice free kick. But anyway, those stats across the board are spectacular, especially on an 83 rated card. 3-star weak foot and skill moves do let him down just a little bit, but if you can get this dude inside the penalty area, inside the penalty box, he can finish almost anything. Like if you give him just a little bit of space, he will probably finish it for you. Luis Gustavo I put in as the most central midfielder just because of his defending. And I wanted a player with some slightly higher defending stats on him, just to make sure that we didn't get counterattacked through the middle too hard. So yeah. And then Bastian Schweinsteiger scored me 1 goal in 7 games. Not the quickest guy, but he has some pretty good defense, a pretty good shot, and a pretty nice pass on him. And he also swings in some really nice corners. I don't know what it was about this team, but I scored more corners in the amount of games that I've played than I think I have scored with any other team that I've played with in Ultimate Team this year. So I don't know what it was about it. I don't know if it was the way that Schweinsteiger delivered the ball or if it was the way the players meshed together. I don't know. Whatever it was, it worked. And so now moving on to our 3 forwards. I'm going to introduce them to you all at the same time. Actually, I'm going to start with our striker, Karim Benzema. I've had him in several squad builders as well. He's an absolutely spectacular player. I just wanted to play with him one more time before I leave for my study abroad program in Spain. 8 goals in 7 games he scored me. I think that's all you really have to look at right there. To have a goal per game ratio is extremely, extremely good. 4-star skills, 4-star weak foot. You know, I don't feel like I really have to say too much more about Benzema. Everyone knows how like just incredibly good he is, and I would recommend him to anyone. You can get him for pretty dang cheap now for under 10K. So if you're looking for a cheap French or Liga BBVA striker, I highly recommend you check Benzema out. And actually, one more thing I wanted to mention really quick about him is the fact that his left foot, which is his weak foot, feels absolutely spectacular. If you're in the penalty area and you take a decent shot with him, his left foot feels almost as good as his right foot to me. So now moving on to our 2 forwards. On the right side, I'm going to introduce this guy first. And I'm sorry if I butcher his name. I think it's Xherdan Shaqiri, it would be pronounced. He's a left-footed player, which is awesome for the right forward position. And that's what I was looking for. I was looking into Robin originally, but I just did not have the amount of coins that I needed after I had purchased my player that I have on the left forward side. But 87 pace, 86 dribbling, 74 shooting, 72 passing. Just fantastic stats for a 78 rated overall card. And I think the only thing that really needs to be said about this guy is just look at that goal to game ratio that he has. He scored me 10 goals in 7 games. He was the highest scoring player in this squad. And I think he was also one of the cheapest players in this squad. I absolutely love this guy to death. 4-star skill moves, 4-star weak foot. If you guys haven't tried this guy out, make a Swiss team or a Bundesliga team and this guy, I feel like, is an undiscovered talent in FIFA. He's so good. I feel like everybody needs to know about him and try him out because he was so good for me. He actually, for me, one of his games, he scored me 5 goals before the half, all by himself. And this was actually the same game in which Isco scored that really nice free kick for me. So I didn't record any of those goals, which makes me a little frustrated that I forgot to do that. But anyway, yeah, 10 goals, 7 games, spectacular. Now, our left forward, the most expensive player in this squad, it is Cristiano Ronaldo. And this was the one player that I really wanted to try out in Ultimate Team before I leave for my study abroad program. I just really wanted to say that, like I said earlier, I just wanted to say that I did play with his card in FIFA 13. Now, I picked him up for 1.27 mil, pretty dang expensive player, scored me 6 goals in 7 games, so his goal to game ratio is not as good as Benzema or Shaqiri, but he's still, the amount of bars and posts that he hit for me was ridiculous. If he buried some of the shots that I hit the post with, he probably would have had at least 3 or 4 more goals. I feel like I don't have to say that much about Ronaldo. You guys all know how good he is. He's so fast. He's so strong. His dribbling is so good. His shot is spectacular. 5-star skill moves means that you can abuse that running scoop turn, which he does so well. 4-star weak foot. Honestly, I think overall he's probably the best player in the game, and I really wish I could have tried him out in a striker position. And unfortunately, he doesn't have a card in the striker or central role, but if he did, man, oh my god, he would be so freaking deadly. But anyway, guys, yeah, that's the squad. I really enjoyed the squad overall. And if you take out third inform Isco and Ronaldo and put in some different players, so maybe some players that may not be quite on their coin caliber, so that not quite as expensive, this would actually be a fairly decent, actually quite cheap squad. I think you could probably put this together for under 50,000 coins if you took out third inform Isco and Ronaldo. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to leave you guys with a couple of goals. Let me know what you think of this squad, and especially if any of you guys have played with Xherdan Shaqiri, let me know what you guys think of him, because I had a fantastic experience with him. But anyway, thank you for watching. Be on the lookout for more content coming soon. And until next time, guys, my name is Viz. Peace out.